My name is Albert Files. I'm president of the American Anti-Curruption Institute.
Thank you.
My name is Mike Massoud. I'm the senior director of the AACI, which is the American Anti-Curruption Institute in Africa and the Middle East.
Team, this is corruption, good governance, challenges and way forward. Now, I want you just to tell us, sir, being the president of the American Anti-Curruption Institute, can you just give us a brief of what we are expecting in the conference?
We're expecting in the conference to begin the process of sharing information and capacity, and really putting to action our MOU here in Nigeria to begin training individuals at the university. He'll talk a little bit more about that.
Our participation in the event here, as I said, it launches the implementation phase. The MOU calls for qualifying faculty and students in fighting corruption, qualifying them through professional certification programs.
The Senior Director, AACI Middle East and Africa, Deans of Faculties are present, Air Department of Adult Education, University of Ibadan, Director Center for Social Orientation, University of Ibadan, Program Coordinators, the civil participants, staff and students of the University of Ibadan, and friends from the media, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the National Workshop and Launching Committee, I am delighted to welcome you all to the National Workshop themed Corruption and Good Governance, Challenges and Way Forward, and the launching of the initiative of the American Anti-Curruption Institute, AACI, for universities and polytechnic students in the Middle East and Africa, professional qualification for faculties and students to prevent corruption in Nigeria. Today, Wednesday, 26 February 2020, in the Chukwuora Conference Center of the University of Ibadan. I invite the Air Department of Adult Education and Chief Host of this event, Professor Rashid Adewale, for the welcome remarks. Professor Adewale, sir.
On behalf of our Chief Executive, the Vice Chancellor of the University of Ibadan, I want to welcome all guests, our foreign participants, the President of the American Anti-Curruption Institute, the representative of Middle East and Africa. The essence of this program, as we have in our draft of our visit, is that the program to empower people at the tertiary level of education with the full aim that when they are empowered in the act of training people to be honest, training people to be dedicated, training people to know the right from the wrong, training people to stop cheating. You are welcome. Thank you.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, may I invite the Senior Director of Middle East and Africa of the American Anti-Curruption Institute, USA, Mr. Mike J. Massoud, for his presentation on CACF initiative that discourages corruption.
It is not a coincidence that the American Anti-Curruption Institute is in Nigeria today. It is the tone at the top that brought us here to be with you. We have been given an honor to witness a historical event that should be remembered for generations to come. Leadership requires determination and persistence. Taking the initiative to empower people with knowledge is the most important gift of freedom and progress anyone can give. However, having the auspices of the highest authority in the country, such gifts gets multiplied with hope to save the country's future and preserve its assets and preserve its wealth. The young generation store the power of change. given the proper tools and the knowledge, they can present their country as a future role model in Africa, if not in the world. And any situation requiring a remedy, a solution coming from the stakeholders themselves and built on the highest international standards acquired through a well-prepared learning program that gives each person engaged in education the suitable level of knowledge and certification.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, may I now invite the President of the American Anti-Curruption Institute, USA, Mr. Bob L. Farris, to please them all to make his presentation entitled "Via Corruption Tribes, a look at the environment that encourage corruption."
Thank you. Corruption is betrayal and treachery. I'm reminded of the 13 Council of Europe commissioners who were caught taking bribes. The bribes were between 20 and 50,000 euros. That is it. Pathetically low sums of money for the betrayal of their EU, their countries, and yes, their families. How are they going to support their families when they're already known corrupt persons? The choice to be corrupt is an individual and selfish choice. The choice is also similar to the choice to take cocaine. Cocaine is good stuff when you first start. And each time we take a bit more to get that same feeling. Most never stop until they are caught, jailed, or die. The same is true with corruption. It's never a one-time deal, and most never stop until they are caught, jailed, or die. So how do we stop corruption? From my readings and very personal experience, there are only a few ways to end corruption. The first is the weeds kill the garden, and the plants are plowed under. A city, state, or nation is bankrupt, and they have to start over. If you plow the garden under, what seeds come back first? The weeds come back first. The same thing in a bankrupt nation or city or state. The corrupt are able to identify the opportunities and often, after a period of lean, harvest even more money from the system. And thank you very much for having me.
I want to appreciate the organizers so dearly. On behalf of Michael Marshall, I am standing here to appreciate the university and the department for bringing these able men all the way from US to talk to us on corruption. We are all aware of what is happening in our nation today. And this present leadership of President Buhari is bent on crushing corruption in our nation. I want to believe that by the end of this workshop, that the individuals who are participating will at least pass the same message to those of us who don't have the opportunity to participate. So it will be a kind of teaching or training the trainer. And if the individuals who participate in this workshop also will disseminate what they will learn today to other Nigerians, I think we'll begin to build a better Nigeria free of corruption. So I want to wish you wonderful deliberations as we continue in this program. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now go to the second Google message by the special guest of honor, His Excellency Engineer Seyi Makinde, the Executive Governor of Oyo State, being ably represented at this ceremony by the Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice of Oyo State, Professor Oyelowo Oyiwo. Your Excellency, sir.
The Vice Chancellor, University of Ibadan, Professor Wainka, the President, the American Anti-Curruption Institute, Mr. Bob, the Senior Director, Mr. Mike Masud, members of the High Table, invited guests, distinguished ladies and gentlemen of the press. No doubt, corruption has remained one of the major threats to our social, political, and economic development in Nigeria. Corruption includes when a public officer, motivated by private gain, gives preferential treatment that is not officially approved, misuse of public office for private benefits, among others, as well as related in the Code of Conduct to the Constitution. The administration of Oyo State is committed to anti-corruption, and this administration, on the 12th of December, I signed the State Anti-Corruption Bill 2012 into law. And this is not a law meant to witch hunt anyone. It is not about politics or political interests. It is not about which party you belong, whether APC or PDP or any political figure for that matter, but about the citizenry and the people of Oyo State. It is in the light of this that we congratulate the organizers of this program. Indeed, this program is quite novel and unique, and unsurprisingly, being instituted in the premier university in Nigeria. For the award presentation session, the four recipients is the Executive Governor of Oyo State, Engineer Seyi Makinde.
Having the microphone of the award. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for being part of the hosts. Thank you very much for being a strong advocate on anti-corruption. And may this only be the beginning of a very long, hard and fun relationship. I can't thank you enough. I truly do.
On behalf of the Governor of the West State, I hereby convey the Capital Anti-Corruption Professional Certificate Program for inviting prospective students and faculty to today. On this day, 26th day of February, the year 2020.
The program coordinator from the University of Ibadan, Professor Deborah Egoyomi, to please step forward and present the vote of thanks. Professor Egoyomi, ma'am.
So let me first of all say all protocols duly observed. I want to appreciate first and foremost God Almighty, who made this day a reality. We've been planning for this program for a very long time, but that notwithstanding, we want to thank God for making it a date with us. Thank you very much, everybody. Everybody, I say thank you, thank you, thank you.
Of course, the effect of corruption is everywhere, like you can say it. It reflects in our daily activities. You see people not doing what they are supposed to do, because corruption is not all about collecting money. People should get that very right. Corruption is all about you failing to do what you ought to do at the time you're supposed to do it, or waiting for gratification before you do the right thing. So whoever is involved in this should know that he or she is corrupt.
Well, we've stated it. The governor has stated the view that this particular conference falls within the objectives of the state. That is, to make sure that corruption is brought to the barest minimum. We'll be ahead of the game. Prevention is better than cure.
So there was an MOU signed between the university and the AACI. AACI means American Anti-Corruption Institute, and that was November 2018. And we believe, okay, there should be an implementation of that program. All right, and then there's an initiative of the American Anti-Corruption Institute, right, to introduce a certification program to the students and the faculties of the universities and all tertiary institutions in Nigeria.
Governance and internal control of public institutions, Professor Babala.
The government uses, yes, the government uses
to deal with the provision and delivery of services for itself and for the citizens, whether at the national, regional, or at the local level. It may also be at the top, middle, and low and bottom level. It may be at the institutional, operational, departmental unit also. So, public sector is a typical bureaucratic organization where the government includes each public servants rather than the individual function for the benefit of the society at large and the citizens as well. When we look beyond that, we see government. We see the pictures of governance, and you notice that there we can say administration, and then they will guide behavior, and they will guide even thinking, policy. Then you also have, you hand that down to the staff, and the staff will be divided into several areas. Like in the university, you will divide to academic, non-academic. There is need for reporters, students, and timely report to those who are government to say they will finish. So reporting system is part of accountability. Transparency in that reporting is very, very important. And following the rules is very important in that. Transparency moves to that. Honesty is what? Is the best policy. When I don't want to talk on that, I want to say thank you for the opportunity you have given us and for listening. I thank you in particular for taking it.
The discussion has been very fine. My name is Dr. Emmanuel Aka from the Federal University of Uche. I want to say I would have hated myself if I wasn't here today, but this opportunity is so enriching.
What I've seen in the corporate world is certainly grateful. The redundancy of checks and balances has not been increased, it's been decreased. Why? Because doing something a second time is an unreasonable cost.
Very good colleagues talking about gratification. And I want to see gratification on three words. And the implication on corruption. Whether they are gifts and gratification. Gifts and gratification.
Maybe I should say thank you to Mr. Heath or Mr. Fine for that, for those comments, which I also like so much. The choice can be individual, but at the same time, I would like to add that it can be influenced by group action. So, and that is where the problem lies. If you are in a society which is endemic, in which corruption is endemic, you may, when you are standing and you say, no, I don't want to be corrupt, the other person will see you as completely insane. Something is wrong with him.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together once again for being part of this session. Thank you so much.
Wastages will be minimized. It means that the money that is meant for something will actually become effective. Something that is meant for food, will not be diverted to kerosene. And something that is meant for road will not be used for flying all about. So it will make room for better public performance if corruption is further minimized.
Yeah, the essence, the importance and relevance of the conference, which was an offshoot of the MOU that we signed with the American Anti-Curruption Institute in 2018, to establish a kind of collaboration between University of Ibadan and that American Institute, which adult education as the POCA department. To practicalize it, to firmly establish it, we had this conference, and the conference focused on capacity building, on understanding the various modes and types of corruption, channel of corruption, the nature of corruption, and how education, particularly tertiary institutions, can help to reduce the menace of corruption.
On behalf of the American Anti-Curruption Institutes and the Premier University, University of Ibadan, through the Department of Adult Education, I'm glad to present this to you, our Asian and African Director of American Institute, American Anti-Curruption Institute, to my brother Mike Ashur. Let me first decorate you with the
Dr. Fagaile is strategic partner, American Anti-Curruption Institute in Nigeria.
This is with great honor and pleasure.
On behalf of the Vice Chancellor of the University of Ibadan, first of all, on behalf of my head department, who asked me to take this on behalf of the Vice Chancellor, I want to say a big thank you to the organizers of the program, and I also want to say a big thank you to AACI, who have done it well to bring this glory upon us. We appreciate you, and you should be rest assured that the department 24/7 is ready to be there for this program. Thank you very much.